Good evening and welcome to another episode of us sitting around talking about Big Brother. Guys.
Was Big Brother on?
The most Big Brothery Big Brother that we've had in a long time.
Sure, yeah. Yeah, they had to scramble.
A little bit of scrambling in the last 24 hours.
Now, was it originally scheduled earlier and they pushed it back and flip-flopped it that hour?
I don't know if it was originally scheduled or they just marked it as wrong.
I know when I looked.
Our producer messed up.
No, I looked it up.
Our producer JP, who I hold responsible for all things wrong on this podcast.
That's great. But when I created the link for us originally, I looked it up and I knew it was on. I was like, because I was thinking, it's on early.
Yep.
The earlier hour, the first hour of prime time, and then that was going to be a better night.
It was a ruse. They tried to get us to look the other way because they knew the accident that was coming.
In their scramble to try to fill an hour with nothing, I think they were like,
and yet at the end, it was like they ran out of time.
Yeah. Stretch, hurry. The pacing was very weird, but.
Well, I mean, listen, we got to hear what Julie would sound like if she was selling micro mini machines. There's that. Get it all in. And cut.
And we're going to need you to run to the green side right now. Run faster.
She's probably mad because they had to do it live. We're doing it live.
Oh, I was just waiting. I was waiting when they all got the news that they were safe and that no one was going home. And then there was like all this hugging directly after she had said, go to the backyard. I was like, y'all, she's going to yell at you. She's going to yell at you. She's going to yell at you.
No, but then they prayed first. So she wasn't going to yell at them if they were praying.
Yeah. Well, I feel like she was pretty insistent that clip get included in the run. Okay. So here's the digs. Julie had a couple press interviews this morning. Did you get a chance to read any of them?
I did not.
No, okay. But first question first for
I was too busy reading the hamster updates.
The timeline.
Julie's presser.
Yes.
When was it that she left the game?
Okay.
Palomas, who we're talking about, guys, in case you didn't watch tonight.
It was like 11. Was it last night? It's all blurring together. Last night, like at 11 o'clock,
okay.
Just like cut. They had not been showing her. The camera hadn't been showing her, so it was just kind of assumed she was in the DR. Because like sometimes people go in the DR and it's like an hour before you see him again. But she was in there for a long time. And then it just like abruptly cut in the middle of conversation and went to kitty cats and never came back.
Well, remember, there was a celebrity this past season, a celebrity Big Brother, who thought that was the therapy room.
Yes.
So maybe Paloma started thinking it was the therapy room.
Listen, I
hope so. I hope
something happened. I think that something happened during Celebrity Big Brother, and I feel like they really needed to go in and smudge the joint after Todrick decided to turn evil on everything, and they didn't. And
they missed the spot. They missed the spot. Yeah.
Didn't turn evil.
Yeah. It was so full of the like self-obsessive dynamic that we couldn't get good
bad Todrick juju.
Yeah, there was some sort of something was off. I'm telling you, moving that staircase in front of the back door.
Monkeypox. Right, it was monkeypox.
It was the monkeypox. Yeah, and okay, so we've chatted a little bit about this. I think anybody who follows the game on Twitter kind of knows the reality of what was
game on Twitter.
Just a little bit, just a little bit. Better to dissect what CBS tries to show.
Yeah.
So anyone who has been following on Twitter kind of knows this already, but if you don't really keep up with the feeds or on Twitter, the storyline that we got that Taylor was just kind of prancing around and showing off and rubbing the girls the wrong way, like that is not the reality of how things went down. There was a very Mean Girls Club that was happening. They showed a little bit more tonight of the misunderstanding.
Because they didn't know she was going to quit.
Yeah.
And they wanted to go with
it.
But then she quit. Now they have to flip. They have to hurry up and rewrite what their narrative was going to be.
I mean, because okay, from the last episode, it's awkward when you have to write out your main character, right? So
yeah.
It was ugly in that house for a while, and this was before Paloma started showing some serious wear and tear and signs that she was maybe having an issue that required intervention. She wasn't all that like.
Do we have to be sympathetic about that? I mean,
yes and no.
Standpoint,
yes and no.
Or can I just be like, she had it coming?
Like this, we have to be. We should be sympathetic to the plight, but not make excuses for the things that were said and the behavior.
Okay, I can live with that. I do feel bad that she felt in a place she couldn't continue. Absolutely.
Well, assuming that it was her choice, assuming that it wasn't really some sort of bigger medical thing. Do you know what I mean? I am not saying that I have any sort of degree in the matter or PhD or any tactical knowledge outside of my own experience with someone who I love very dearly that has some issues with manic depressive disorder. And literally in the first 5 seconds that this girl was on screen, I thought, God, she looks just like this person. Just something. It was weird. It was like immediately, like I was like, oh shit, why does she remind me of this person so much? But then I started watching this like behavior change and the sleep deprivation that she was dealing with come in, and her face started to change, and there was a lot of ways it, like the head started being held differently, and it just more and more and more I was like, this girl she's coming untethered.
Well. Yeah, she's not well. She somebody needs to be talking to her. Like it did become concerning.
When she realized how she was being portrayed.
And that's
that makes it spiral faster, right? Like paranoia. Now you've screwed up. You're trying so hard to backspin, and she couldn't get herself out of it. It was too far.
They don't get the Twitter, so they don't know what people were saying about her.
But I think at some point she saw how they had to have said something like, "Hey, heads up, house guests, you need to remember the training that we went through when we talked about things like microaggression and like all of these things." That might have stirred up some things and this is how I'm being betrayed or portrayed. But then also there's this other thing that was happening where she was certain, she was walking around in feeds and was saying that she cracked the game. She cracked the code to the simulation. And she wasn't going to split her winnings because that's illegal in the game rules, right? She was going to invest in everybody else. And she kept trying to tell this to everybody. Everyone's like, you don't even say it. Don't even say it. Like, it's against the rules. Don't even say it. So, I mean, it's been a couple days.
For that, though.
I caught it. High five. Look at the mom face. She's like, now. Meow.
Well, she went out. She went out to the Walmart with her friend. I see that she's there on line 360, and I'm like, get some ice cream. And she's like, cash at me the cash. And I said, you got a job. Anyway, so
you should tell her that she should invest.
Before we all went by,
invest in it.
It was like I was listening to this. It was like Samuel L. Jackson was in the room. That's all I'm gonna say.
Oh, that was a different story.
The EMS was dropping, and I was like, "Oh my god!" I was scared. I'm like muting and turning off my camera.
You have got to pull Samuel L. Jackson energy when you are momming in full force.
Oh, that was had it full, man.
That wasn't even. That was
hey, Dave.
And then I think I said, "Where's my glass?"
So I think the big thing that we've learned is maybe if you are on medication, do your best stay on the medication. Yes. Be very clear with the directors and producers what medication is required for you to be even Steven.
I mean, we're not saying she didn't take her medication.
Nope.
But
get the sleep. It's like when you get the sleep. Go to sleep. You have to. You can't. One's healthy without sleep.
This out of the person who responds to direct messages at 3:40 in the morning.
Yeah, but then I sleep till like 9.
She catches it later. Well, I mean, it's like, I suppose, in a way, to be fair, it's like if you ever spent the weekend with friends and having like a lot of fun, and you don't get a lot of sleep because you don't want to miss a minute. She's in this house. There's live feeds. Maybe it's been hard for her to adjust to that. So then maybe that leads to her not sleeping. Then she's really overthinking the game and getting kind of weird, and all of that pressure that if you do have something, or if you have some issue, that little bit of pressure can just nudge you right out. It doesn't matter.
And the part of me that always wants to give everyone the benefit of the doubt is that I'm hoping when she saw Taylor's reaction having to go up on the block, and then how she reacted to Daniel's like stupid comment, I hope there was a little part of her that was like, oh man, I did this.
Yeah.
You know?
Well,
I hope she gets some rest.
Talk a little about the Taylor thing. Because this brings up an interesting topic. Is, we all know CBS's casting policy. We all support it. We've talked about it many, many times.
Yep.
So this particular season, 10 of 16 are BIPC individuals.
Yep.
So 63% approximately.
Mm-hmm.
Can we now say that if a person of color is put up first, it's a microaggression? I mean, to me,
no.
It's like, it's literally a 6 in 10 chance of happening.
No, I would say that no, that doesn't necessarily count as a microaggression.
But
however,
what I'm saying,
but going and confirming it with another person of color and stating that that a Black woman is going to be raging when she finds out that she was put on the block, and then making sure it was okay to put a Black woman on the block by asking a Black man in the house if that was okay. Absolutely a microaggression.
And I'll grant.
And literally, what was he supposed to say? What was he supposed to say? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, had the other things not occurred, and had they just said Taylor's obviously a big threat and put her up.
Yeah,
you put the person of color up first. Well,
no, I don't think that necessarily would. I don't think that would necessarily have happened if she actually presented herself as a threat, outside of I'm a threat in the fact that the boys are looking at me.
We said so last week. I mean, I wanted to pick her as my winner pick. I love her, but
that being said, the threat in the house, honestly, like, let's not mince words.
No,
the threat in the house is that she looked banging in a swimsuit.
Yeah, she did.
They were insecure about it.
But that's what I'm saying. Is it was less racial and more Mean Girls.
It was very Mean Girls.
I think Paloma thought she was going to be that girl in the house who was going to be wearing the bikini and getting all the attention.
And instead, she has to wear a backstage T-shirt.
And when it was Taylor, I think it made her angry.
Well, I will tell you that one of the hardest moments of watching the feeds for me was when Taylor had spent the day crying. She had spent the day alone. She was recognizing that people were not allowing her in. And she will herself say that she did tonight. She's an introvert, so it takes her a bit of time to warm up. But she recognized that she was being pushed out of every conversation. She was all alone. She was getting looks over shoulders. And she's crying. And then what do they have to do? They all have to go get in their swimsuits and go in the backyard for the swimsuit photo shoot. I can't. Like, I no. Everyone take a drink, because that's a hard one. It's a hard day. That's a tough one.
In fairness, she chose the swimsuit she brought.
She did. That's not it. It's just the fact that she's got to go out there.
She's got to go out and pretend to be happy after crying.
Right. But you know what? She's a professional. She does well in the pageant.
She looked hot in the swimsuit.
Yep, put it together.
Really my point.
And if you see the pictures, which are easy to find, you can find them.
Yeah.
It hurts looking at it just because she smiles. She looks great. You wouldn't know, but it makes my guts hurt a little bit.
But then there was the other swimsuit she had on, the red one, when she was out, and that was even more revealing.
Yeah, are you talking about the pool table swimsuit? Was it that one? Yep.
Yeah, the red one, which was like cut here, but then didn't have anything here, right?
There was no booty. There was no booty on that swimsuit.
Nope.
Now, here's the thing. That's what did it. That's what started to stir up these issues too. And at least tonight we got to see the misunderstanding But I'm going to just say, straight up, Paloma be problematic as she was, but Monte had his part to play in this too. And in fact, most everybody in the house took a swing at one point without bothering to find out the truth, whether it's because that's just the kind of person they are, or whether it be because, like Nicole said, something doesn't add up right, but like, I have to watch my game.
Well, I mean, Paloma was brilliant in the way she played it. She took, Taylor went and told the guys the truth, and she took it and twisted it, and she sounded legitimate, and they bought it. And that's the game.
Yeah.
That part is the game.
And it's difficult, because you've heard me say it a million times. If you want to play a villain's game, I'm all for it, as long as you know you're the villain and have no problem admitting that you're the villain.
Yeah, don't pretend you're the nice guy.
Yeah. But we're not a victim. We're not a victim of our own, we can't be. You cannot be you can't be a villain and then feel bad.
And then play victim.
It just doesn't work out.
Remind me of that later, because I got another example we'll talk about offline.
Speaking of victims, how is everyone's ears after Kyle got to host his first veto ceremony?
As long as it wasn't Jasmine, man.
Ooh, that's a rough one too. There's some voices. There's some voices.
He's got some rough voice there going on.
Yep.
And by the way, I have a clear picture. Jasmine touched the ground. There is no disputing it.
Helen was pushed. Jasmine touched the ground.
I sent it to both of you. It clearly, her foot's on the ground. There's a depression. The NFL would overturn that call.
Okay, but then, yeah.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Some of the people did better on this competition than I thought. And then some of them, it was just like, oh, dear God, how do they walk across the street? It was a little, I like Brittany. So far, I'm all for Brittany.
Guitar, like confused, and it went around like 4 times. I'm like, did somebody give Terrence a gummy? Because he doesn't know how to get off the guitar.
And poor Brittany, just, her slow motion roll down the body of the guitar.
Who was it that like jumped on it? Like
Brittany.
There was a few of them.
Was that Brittany? Yeah.
But it was just like, what is this?
Why wouldn't you wait? Like they started doing, wait till the neck comes around and just step onto that. It'll take you back. You don't have to jump.
Back around.
Just step across.
Here's a thought. Again, this is, if I were to be, let's say I was in this competition and I was towards the end, but then my competitor fell off and I knew they had to start over. And I got like right up to the buzzer, like right up to the end. I am not hitting that buzzer until my competitor gets all the way through. They are.
You're going to make it do it. You're just going to stand there making them do it. What if they just say they're not going to?
Ding,
oh,
ding.
That's funny. That's a game of chicken then, right?
Yes, like I did it. You're doing it.
Hey, we need to send a shout out to Ro, who's with us tonight in the chat.
Hey, Ro.
Hi, Ro.
And my very good friend Chrissy Heckman, who I call Checkman.
Hey, Checkman.
Yeah, she's from Southern Maryland.
All right.
And she's a Big Brother super fan, so it's good to see her in the house.
It's good to have company. Good to have the company.
So she's Checkman because her email was C. Heckman.
Oh, I get it. Checkman.
Whatever. So she's Checkman forever to me.
Okay, that makes sense. I was wondering, like, how did that?
Because I knew her before she was married, and so she was like C. Ryan or something, But now she's Checkman.
Okay.
I like it. So what are your thoughts on some of these other players now that we've had a little bit of...
I still have to look up their names.
If Kyle doesn't go home tomorrow, I don't understand it. He is the most annoying person.
Well, but is he annoying to them? That's the thing. You never know. Well, I guess you guys know.
Guys, there's like nobody on this cast that's even remotely funny. Like we don't even have the funny guy. And I think Kyle is supposed to be the funny guy, but Kyle's just a little bit too much to be the funny guy and not funny enough to be funny.
He's trying to be quirky.
He's
trying.
He's trying to be quirky, kind of like that one guy on the NCIS. He's like trying to be quirky, but he's not. But he's like, no, it's not. It's not ironic.
I'm really loving Cat Dad Michael for so many reasons.
Good.
Can't stand him.
And I'm going to tell you, he has a far better high kick than Frankie Grande ever could wish for.
That was pretty good, right?
That was.
Oh, please send Frankie Grande back on. I love him.
He is about 3
I saw him in
taller than Frankie, so there's that.
Did you guys see? Did you see the Frankie Grande in that movie?
No.
Nope. Where the guy's killing, he's like an Uber driver and he's killing people. It's Steve from Stranger Things in a movie where he's an Uber driver and he's trying to get people to follow him.
Oh, this is a tormented situation because A, Frankie, B, like Steve, what do I do? What do I do?
Could you imagine Frankie in the house with Rachel? That's what I want to see.
Oh, that would be so fun. I mean, but only if they're friends,
right?
Only if they get along, because I think they could be a dynamic duo.
I feel like I would rather them not get along because the two of them for like camera grabs would just be so entertaining.
Check the comments. There's a throwback.
What do we
Chrissy's
got?
Talking about we need like some humor like Dr. Will and Boogie in the diary room.
We do. Well, okay, here's the thing though. That was the joy. That was the joyful days.
Those are the days where we solidified our love affair with Big Brother. Yes, we were like, oh yeah,
that's gotta be 8 or 9, right?
And that was the All-Star season, wasn't it? Wasn't it? Yeah, it wasn't like 9. It wasn't very far in. It's a long time ago.
But here's the thing: these fun DRs that we don't get anymore, it's because they're scripted now. Like we don't get. You want to know some of the best DRs that we've had outside of Celebrity? Because we all know how great the Celebrity DRs actually were.
Right.
Outside of the Celebrity DRs from this season, some of the best ones we got are from some of the like players that I liked the least because they just were like, I'm not doing it. Like, I'm not doing campy. I'm not, you know what I mean? They just stood there with crickets and I'm sorry, that's hilarious. But
I loved Meta World Peace in the diving room.
Yeah.
Okay, I looked it up just in case you're wondering. It's a movie called Spree.
Spree. What are we doing in here?
Spree. And spoiler alert: Frankie Grande gets decapitated. It's
so
very,
I might have to.
It's a weird campy movie that my daughter and I watched. And we were like, he's trying to get more likes by killing people live on Instagram. It's just really,
bless his spirit because the man will never say no to a camera. So
no,
he is a devoted celebrity want.
and no different than Rachel, but I cannot stand Rachel and I love Frankie. Go figure.
I do love the Rachel for better or for worse.
Just her voice I can't abide.
Yeah. Well, I'm assuming that you probably have some issue with anybody who has vocal fry too. I think there's a little of that. That might be
what?
Some vocal fry, you know, and they talk
like that. Yeah.
Like Nicole Franzel. That was always an easy one, you know.
But Jordan and what's his name? Jeff. Oh my gosh, it was in my head and then it went out. Yeah, Jordan and Jeff, like they're another duo that was always fun to watch, you know, but we don't, because they were just, he would laugh at things about her and she was just so like dingy, but he wasn't doing it in a mean way, but it would just be like, oh my gosh, she doesn't understand.
I can't see Jeff without thinking.
And he's not a genius, okay?
It's just the clown shoe, you know. It's
so cute.
So we've had a lot of great players and entertaining.
Evil Dick.
And yes.
Evil Dick like the first 2 times, but the last time he was awful.
Well, that's because he was there for 3 days.
The one he was on with what's her name wearing the jumpsuit. Oh, he was so mean to her.
One? He's
what's her name? Danielle? No, not Danielle.
Yeah, he never tried to.
The one he was on with his daughter was that the one he left? No.
Yes, because they played twice together.
It was the first time it was good.
It was the coach season that he was gone. I think that he left, right? Because he was with Ian was in there. Yeah. Well, you know what? Here's the deal. We don't have those players this year.
We don't.
We
And
have
who was
to.
the dude with the pots and pans? Because I hated him.
No, not him.
The meatball?
Yeah, not a fan of that.
Who was
Not
it?
a fan.
Wasn't his name Derek
Josh,
also?
the pots and pans and he ran around. He was so
Josh.
obnoxious, but I kind of missed
Josh.
it.
Yeah.
Yep, big Josh.
Yeah. I missed it. Yeah. You know, even whatchamacallit, Mookie, what was his name? Woo woo boo boo. What was this?
Woo woo.
Oh
my God.
Wait.
Never mind.
Stop everything.
The cat.
This brings us back to
oh man.
Our Turner and Pooch crossing alliance, right? David, it's happening. It's becoming closer and closer.
My hashtag is trending everywhere.
It's everywhere. Turner and Pooch.
You know, I told you but here's the deal. When we recorded, we literally trademarked that on the podcast. We could take it to court.
We did.
We said TM.
And I posted it.
I even claimed
that was we legally told the world and announced it.
Yep.
Claimed
it. Matter of fact, Rockstar on Twitter had said something, and Jamie Joe's like, Dave called it 2 days ago. Here's his hashtag.
Yep.
And she actually retweeted it.
Meow meow. I told you, Catman. Meow meow. Enzo. Dang it.
Enzo.
That's who I was like the Mew Mew, the cat guy.
The Mew Mew. What's up, Mew Mew?
You made the chicken pop.
Meow meow.
He called him meow meow. But my head, I wasn't remembering it right.
Chicken pop.
Oh God, the senior moments happen more and more. I'm just saying. I was like that guy, the weird guy with the
guy. Well, here's the thing about Enzo, right? First season, you know, he couldn't win anything. He won nothing. Second time he came around, he had been practicing.
Well, he still won nothing, but he did.
Nice, still don't win nothing, but he's on the challenge now.
But
so
he's
given it another row, guys.
You know what? The second time
Yep, he's on the challenge. We spoiler alert, if you're behind, we lost Tiffany, but we had Tiffany, we have Chanel, we have Enzo, we have Tyler, we have so many. Taylor. Yep.
All right. I'm gonna have to tune in and watch. I mean, that's only once a week though, right?
Yeah, it's like on Wednesday nights.
I've been busy.
Yeah, it's all right. It's all right.
You've been busy on Twitter.
You know,
it has been a happening place, to be fair.
Yeah.
Now, okay. So we know that Kyle, we're all about Kyle. What about Daniel's HOH? What do you think?
Well, it kind of sucked that he had to put somebody else up.
He had to nominate 3 people and they're all still in the house. Yeah.
That sucks for him, really does. But I mean, that could literally happen to anyone. But it does suck when you see that one of the people you nominate is going to win, and they're going to take. You're like, oh my God.
Yeah, but you know what? Here's the thing. He did. He had to put up 3. He had to nominate all these people. He's got 3 that are in the house. But I don't think that this is the cast that's going to matter. You know, I don't feel like anyone in the cast is going to be like, well, you did this to me, so now I'm gunning for you. I just don't.
I feel like, what was I supposed to do as week 1?
Yeah, I just don't think that these guys are in game mode yet. Like, they think that they are, but I don't think they are.
They're not.
No. They're still like, you know, nobody look at me.
Oh,
I don't want to be noticed.
The thing that scared me was when Michael was going to people to ask, like, hey, if you get in the veto, will you? And everyone was like, I don't know. I don't remember a time when I've seen
so many people go, maybe.
Yeah. And they can't say no because it's Big Brother, but they're not saying yes.
And that's really okay. One, that's really bad for every single one of them. Bad gameplay. Week 1, somebody says, hey, let's make a deal. Okay, sign me up.
So I just don't think they're that super fanish.
No.
You know what I mean?
And that's what I mean. I think we've got 2 actual super fans. We've got a handful of people that watch CBS, but maybe never really get that deep into the game. But it's entirely frustrating because it's like, guys.
Yeah. And honestly,
yes.
At this point, it's the start of the game. Everyone's in there. You're probably not going to get picked anyway. So why?
And like, let's look at it.
And you don't even have to try hard. You can say you tried and you didn't try. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly. You could totally.
That was hard.
Oh, rats. I'm no good at this. But like, for real. Okay. He goes to all these people, asks for the help. They all just kind of miss. So what does he do? He is what would Janelle do? And then he wins.
Yeah.
Now, every single one of them, they need to stop and realize, like, I may have just lost the game because it's that simple. I could have just lost the game.
Well, it definitely he asked
They don't know what he's
Indy
gonna do.
and who was the other person he asked?
He asked everybody. He really pretty much went through everyone. So when they came in, they were like,
and like seriously,
pull you into this
and
alliance.
He did really good in the HOH challenge too.
Yes.
The limp noodle, trying to shove a limp noodle in a hole. He can do that.
Yeah, he got
great.
That. He can climb walls. This kid's got it. I mean, he can parent cats 3 times.
3 of them, yeah. That's hard. It's harder when you have multiples. It's hard. They gang up on you.
That's a lot of attention to give. Mm-hmm. So I'm just saying, like, they need to give this guy a little bit more credit. He's had a few moments that maybe he should have stepped back out of, but I still have him up on the wall as a hopeful.
So this week we watched him glow up a little bit then, huh?
Yes.
Right? He kind of looked kind of clunky at the beginning, but all right, so I don't feel so nervous about my pick.
No, and he was, he's making good with Brittany. Now we go over to Brittany.
Woo!
Are we glad that they did not tell Brittany that she won the vote? It would have been dangerous for her, right? If they would have been, by the way, America was going to save you.
Yeah.
Yeah, but do you think maybe they should just like tell her in the DR and be like, if you tell anyone, it's your own game, but we just thought you would want to know?
No.
Think you keep it on the DL the whole time?
Just to keep it more.
Okay. I think we should do this.
Natural. I think.
Put your hands up, and on the count of 3, and we're going to do the backyard or the backstage challenge. All right. Thumbs up or thumbs down. Come on.
Wait. On what?
I'm going to count to 3, and you either go thumbs up or thumbs down.
About
on the backstage challenge. Twist.
Oh.
1.
I don't even care.
Yeah,
it was so bad.
It's a turd. Lose it.
It was literally the classic. We have a theme for the season, and immediately it crashes and burns. They can't even. Yeah.
It continually happens with the game.
Right. They always try to control the game. And
it's funny because having just watched another country's one where they blatantly manipulate people and just change the game. And they're like, hey, we're just making it entertaining and we don't care that we're cheating, Right. But
that's the reality. And CBS are like, there's rules, and here's the rule book. And Paloma has read through the rule book 50,000 times. And
because she wasn't sleeping.
But we're going to change the rules. But then we're going to just kind of be like, and we're not going to be like, okay, you know what, CBS? It's time that you realize that you're a villain, and you need to own your game. Because you want to know who figured that out? Australia. Just say.
I'm saying.
Own it. If you're the production company, we're the villain. We're going to mess with you. The end. None of this twisty twist thing.
And that's what I love. When you watch Australia, they're like, here's what we're going to do. We're going to shake everything up. And we understand that it's totally manipulative and trying to create conflict. And we're going to own it, because that's just what we're going to do.
Yeah.
Right.
I
wish that we would.
Part in Australia where they were actually showing behind the scene clips.
Oh.
Of the whole house. Of like scheming that was going on
nice.
During gameplay.
Yeah, wow. and they won a dinner, and the dessert they had to pick from a menu, and each menu was a different clip, and all of them unveiled something that somebody or 2 people didn't want people.
Oh no, I don't know if I want that at all.
Oh no, it created so much conflict. It was awesome.
Yeah,
I wouldn't want to be entertainment. Yeah, I wouldn't want to be on that show.
But that's what they do. And then they're like, oh, we really like this person. They got kicked off. And a door opens and they go, you're in the control room for a night.
Oh, man.
And then they find a way to put them back the next one.
See, I'd be okay. I wouldn't want to play that. I would not want to play that game, but I would want to watch that game. And there are people that would want to play it.
Are those on Paramount?
I don't know. I don't know if they are.
David knows.
Honest.
No, they're not.
David knows things.
No, but if you want to watch it, I have a link and I will forward it to you. And
David, you don't have your earphones in, do you? We're getting a lot of echo.
Oh, yeah.
Look what you do. Look, you are not in the control.
I figured it out. I figured it out, guys.
From the headphones.
So apologize. Apologize to the people. Okay.
I am sorry. I am echoing all 8 of you.
Okay.
Hold on. Are we having a Monty Taylor conversation? Like, I'm really sorry about the miscommunication. Had I known, you're lying. You're all lying. I'll tell you. Okay, so we kind of already went through our feelings on Jasmine. We almost got like, just, I don't know. I'll tell you this. I may not be real fond of her gameplay, but she did make tonight's episode a little bit more entertaining, just because.
What was the deal? Did she really hurt herself?
Yeah, she fell. She like landed on her face and hurt her ankle, and I was thinking it was hilarious because Julie was like, "We'll be right back." I love that, like, horrible, awkward, oh crap.
I think they were pivoting all night trying to figure out how to pace all of that.
I mean,
because you never know. That's a game
about like all of this, because they had to basically go in. I'm certain that they had to go in and pull together an edit that would allow us to see why Paloma
have an explanation,
gone.
yeah.
Right, but without going back too far, seeing as we gave her a hero edit like 2 days ago.
She got a hero edit tonight.
Yes. They were all in tears.
Listen, if she is ill,
truly, yes, if she is truly having a
then you know what? That's good. Don't exploit it.
Right.
I adjusted the levels. Did that help with the echoing?
A wee
maybe.
Bit. A wee bit, perhaps.
You're not echoing. It's us echoing when we talk.
I turned it down. That's why I'm asking you if it's better.
Yeah,
okay.
Your voice is free like an angel, David. We're the ones trapped in purgatory.
It's those tall ceilings in that Mediterranean architecture in South Florida. Everything echoes.
That's what it is.
Well, I even put blankets on the hardwood floors to try to.
Oh, look at you! Aww.
Well, you know, do like all of those podcasters did during pandemic, where they were turning a little closet into a recording studio. Right. They put like egg crate up.
Their egg crate.
I need a mic bigger than this one.
Look at that! That's like a pro. That's a pro.
Is it really big, one of them Yeti ones? So what it is?
It keeps your drink cold.
What is the brand of that, David?
Blue.
Blue. I thought it was.
I'm gonna go with Yeti.
My daughter has one. I thought it was. Never mind.
I love it. Okay, so we got Jasmine. We got our take on Jasmine. Amira, like
I like Amira.
There's not been a lot there,
but nothing that I haven't liked either. So that's kind of good right now.
I see her totally different.
Yeah.
You don't like her?
Taylor is like the girl every guy wishes they could be with, kind of.
Right.
But Taylor?
Amira's like the girl you want to marry.
Right. Yeah.
I like Amira.
She gets things done, and man, I think she's a player. I
definitely think that she is going to play the game.
Mm-hmm.
I am disappointed and not surprised at all that we are on first week eviction and the Girls Alliance is already pretty much a bust. Like,
don't say that. I have hope. Maybe they can pull it together.
I don't think they're gonna trust
without Paloma.
Yeah, they're not gonna trust Brittany. She knows it too. Like, Brittany knows. She's like, well, that was a bad idea. And
it's not the alliance is not a bad idea, but then
no, but going to Pooch. Okay,
yes.
I'm sorry, guys. I've just got to say it. Like, how does anyone in that house trust his face?
Right.
I mean, he just doesn't have a trustworthy face. Like, he looks like the guy who's going to rat you out. He just does.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I don't know. And a good nickname goes a long way.
But you can't give yourself the nickname.
It's also not a good.
Presumably, it's his football nickname or whatever.
Yeah, I know.
Everyone's got a football nickname.
Everybody.
Well, he's a football coach professionally.
Oh, right. Well, no, I think not professionally.
He didn't walk around calling him Pooh Bear or
the upper crust
NFL, but I think it's like a high school or a minor college. Yeah.
Yes, correct.
Yeah,
correct.
Yeah.
I mean, he's paid to be a football
coach. Right there in your state, right?
As was Dan.
Not here in Florida, really.
I think he's in Florida. I think he's a football coach in Florida. I think is what they said.
Yeah, I think
bunch of them are living. A bunch of the castmates this year are from Florida. It's kind of weird.
David, it could have been you. You could have been Terrence.
Plastic surgeon.
You could have been jumping across these things and rolling down fake guitar.
He looks like, okay, so you know how now you see all this like hyper realistic animation that they're like blending with live action, right? Yeah. So he looks like that. He looks like this is my face, but like somehow they've like animated part of it.
Yeah, yeah. It's
the way he
the
talks,
skin tone.
Reminds me of the situation.
It's the skin tone
the
with
situation.
Yes. Now, okay, what about Turner? What are you thinking about Turner thus far?
The rug maker. We didn't get to see a lot of him this week. You know what I mean? Like just a bunch of people that are
pretty emotional.
That's
he
what
was
I
like,
think.
You think he was what?
I think his sister's a Looney Tune.
I think maybe.
I think so too. But I mean,
maybe we're wrong. But
she did not like her mom and dad loved him best.
No, I mean, he seriously did he was really upset about Paloma. And
my gosh, the way he was really crying.
It's so hard because I don't know. Like day one, I tweeted this.
Okay.
You go and fact check me. Day one, I was like, this girl has a certain way in the way that she talks to people.
Yeah.
And I would be side-eyeing
Do
her
you
from day one.
Right. Do you think that they were doing that they were talking to her like, what is going on with her? I don't know. There's something's wrong. Something's wrong.
Well, I will tell you, Indy, there was a couple times that Indy was like, you need to stop what you're saying and basically like think about like how you're saying things.
Yeah.
Indy
go to sleep.
Yeah, exactly.
Because when you're sleeping, you're not talking either. Like
but Indy is pretty she's been pretty fun. She really has. I mean, for the most part, because she likes to talk to everybody. She's very social, and she will, she laid it out, like I said, a few times where she's like, no, you can't say things like that. You just can't say things like that. So we'll see where she goes. She's kind of she's raising in the ranks for me a little bit.
Yeah. And Nicole, I still really like Nicole. I think she's going to be a super solid player. As long as she doesn't get pulled down by somebody else's gameplay, but aligning with the wrong person.
Didn't distinguish herself in the challenge at all.
I think that's okay right now, though.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, do you think she's holding back, or do you think she's just not athletic?
I also don't think that she might feel pretty safe. She might not care.
Yeah, what's in it for her game to try to, you know what I mean? Like
that, I think it's great. But if she couldn't keep up with that old dude,
that's true.
Who was standing on the guitar for like 4 minutes. Going,
you know what? Maybe
no. I think she was. I think she was not playing to her best at that. No.
Yeah.
She works on doesn't she work on a yacht?
Yes.
Okay,
so balance would be good.
Exactly. She was not playing to her. That was her faking it. Yeah. Because she's got to have amazing balance. When you can't cook on Rocky, right. Come on. She probably looked at that and laughed.
She's like, I don't want to be HOH.
Right.
Look at everything that Daniel just went through. I want no part
really.
of it.
Yeah, exactly. Especially if people who were on the block are still in the house. And then they're going to be mad at Daniel, possibly. I mean, there's a whole lot of you could shift focus somewhere else, so I wouldn't even try.
Okay, so I know we're early in the game, but who is the worst case scenario to get HOH?
Ooh. Pooch.
I kind of think so, too.
Who?
Kyle.
Pooch.
I mean, Kyle might be entertaining, but also horrible, because that means he's going to talk a lot.
Jasmine.
Yeah.
No, she's not gonna. She can't win because she just hurt herself.
Oh no, she still gets to compete because she was like, you won your round, so she still gets to compete for the HOH.
But we don't know what's coming next. What if she can't do what's coming next?
Well, she's gonna have to do the second round. Presumably,
yeah. What if it's like tiptoeing? Yeah, if you have to like tiptoe through something, she's not going to do it.
No, we're going to do that same thing. We're going to do that same thing again, but blindfolded.
My shins just started bleeding.
When that was going on, Eric comes out and he goes, "Are you watching Battle of the Network Stars?"
Oh, Chrissy.
Basically,
the says that Michael would be the worst scenario.
You think so?
Well, that's what she said. I don't know.
Michael. I like my. I
Well,
want
he's
to
a
see
Mensa
Michael.
scholar, so clearly
Okay.
he would put up the perfect people.
But like, isn't there like some sort of curse on like second HOH too? So maybe
Is there?
not.
Yeah, and he would know. I don't know. I just think that like after the first week, it's like the first week is all brand new. Everyone has the jitters. They probably give people the benefit of the doubt on a lot of things because this is the first week. But now it's the second week. I don't know. I just think it puts too much of a target on your back to go full out for it. I don't think you're right. I don't think it's a good week to be HOH.
I just wanted to read Hannah Hannah Chada from last season.
Chada.
Her tweet where she says, "Not Queen Taylor, Karma casting a halting hex on Jasmine's ankle." Oh, I missed 23. We all missed 23. Let's be honest, we all missed 23.
Yeah.
Those were
I kind of love that season in retrospect.
It was a good.
It was
no, worst season ever. I'm never watching this show again, ever.
Did I
ever?
Say that?
No, that's what all the Facebook haters thought.
The Facebookers.
No, I mean, I'm there with Survivor. I don't even know if I'm watching the next Survivor.
He meant it. He meant
awful.
it. Now here's the thing. When I'm watching these people out on this like Big Brother challenge and they're just all over the place, it was really fun to follow a lot of the Survivor alumni's thoughts during all this. They're like, yeah, like Survivor, except when you fall, you die. It was fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, they're not wrong.
They're not wrong. No.
Well, in Australia, you die.
Yeah, well, you could die just staying on balance because something will eat you.
Right,
Something's
exactly.
Gonna find you and eat you. It'll give you toxic venom.
Yeah, the only reason I think Pooch would be the worst of the HOH is because I don't think he has a firm grasp of the game at all.
No.
So
nah.
Yeah, but that's okay early on. It doesn't matter.
And that is, yeah, you're right.
True. It is true. I just, you know what? You know who would be an interesting, not because I don't think it's gonna make great game moves. I don't think it would be the best for the game, but it would be pretty fun if we got to see somebody who like has not ever watched the show be HOH, because that's 90% of this cast. And they clearly don't know how to play the game, even though, with the exception of Michael, those who claim to watch this. So because they didn't say yes to his alliance offer.
So
I couldn't even, they should be like, oh yeah.
No,
well, yeah, I'd love to see Taylor win because I'd love to see her put.
Okay,
that would be nice.
Okay, that's who I think might actually win, because if she's all fired up, and you saw how she got across that thing. I mean, she's very she has been. She's like a little like. I mean, her feet
like
barely touch the ground, right? Yes.
Bing, bing,
yep. So she won. She's kind of fired up. But I don't know if she really wants that. I mean, I think she probably wants it to prove herself.
I think Amira is going to win.
But it's like once you got it, you go, oh, what did I do? I don't want this.
I think Amira is going to win.
You think so?
I actually think she did well. I think that another issue that would pop up for Taylor is, well, one, if people are going to hate on Taylor, give them a reason. Give them a reason. If they are already like that, they have freed you, girl. You do not have to have niceties.
Right, and then you can just be like, I'm putting you up because you're horrible people.
Yeah, you made me cry for an entire week straight for no good reason. So that's why you're here.
She could literally call them up one by one and let them all explain themselves to her.
And they'd all have to apologize.
That would be some good HOH room, you know.
Yeah,
and how about when you said this?
Who wants to see my HOH room? And then I'll be like, no.
See, so there's that.
All right, CBS, that'd be good television. Make that happen.
We'd be all right, because clearly rules don't matter. She touched the ground.
Rules don't matter.
Okay,
yeah.
We have to talk about the most important thing, though. I want to hear the two of you tell me your feelings about Julie's outfit for this week.
Oh.
You know what? I'm going to let Christy. Christy, you go.
Oh my gosh, I don't think I remember. I think she wore a V-shaped red dress the other night. Am I remembering right? Was I like a V? It had like a very V.
She had that purple ensemble. No, that was last week. That was last week. The Lampshade Ensemble.
And then she did one night, she did like a very like tropical thing, like she was at a Hawaiian beach resort.
Free flowing magic.
Yeah.
On vacation.
There's not been anything really weird yet. No macrame, no crochet.
Nothing like super. Yeah, she hasn't hit her couture.
Not even a tassel or a fringe.
Well,
none of that.
No, because we got a lot of fringe though on that purple number last week. The lampshade.
Did that have fringe? I don't remember that one.
Tons and tons of fringe.
I probably blocked it out.
It's all right. It's okay.
There was only one word I could think when I saw her. Godspeed.
Yeah. You know what? I'm so glad you said that because this is literally what I have in my notes. It looks like she had a last minute call to choir practice at church. And nothing wrong with what she's wearing, really. But this is way low key for a Julie number. Like super low key.
She, we've said for years and years, the Chen bot, famously, she's the Chen bot, right? She's a little bit icy. Maybe she's not. Maybe we've got it wrong all the time. Maybe what she is part Vulcan, and really she should just live long and prosper and give up the Godspeed. There you go. It would explain so much.
Maybe like she's become so religious that like she objects to the show on some subconscious level.
Oh, jeez, then quit.
Well, okay.
I mean,
all right, guys, this is the best segue. This is the segue that I have been waiting for.
That was a good segue to what?
What are we going to get now?
So, because of not directly because of all the drama and the things happening behind the scenes, but also because it was just scheduled. We have some people that were doing interviews with Julie. She had some press interviews.
Oh, you said this morning, right?
Yeah. Now
she read a book.
I'm not going to go in and quote any of them. They're easy to find. You should do it. Friend to J&J, Mike Bloom, is one who has a wonderful interview. You should check it out.
Mike Bloom, Julie Chen, that's happening.
Yeah. Now, here's the thing. She's taken the CBS route, and she has really kind of gaslit things to being Twitter. Twitter's the bad people, not the bad behavior in the house. And then there was like a lot of God will work it out. So, but there's more in there. I suggest everyone take a minute and read it. It's hard hitting. And kudos to Mike Bloom because he really did not back down, and he's one of those people that can interview, not back down, and do it with such grace. So, kudos to him.
I mean, I do have to say that it feels often like Twitter is looking for things that may or may not.
It's just another drama camp. I mean, at the end of the day,
this is Rachel. No, it's actually Mean Girls.
Yeah,
it's actually just girls tearing down other women, which, by the way, has been going on longer than anything in the world.
Longer in the world. But here's the thing also. Twitter has never been Twitter is just like any other social media forum, and it can get out of control as easily as a group of people inside of the house can get out of control and join a bandwagon and start heading down the wrong path real quick because of mob mentality.
Yeah, but Twitter feels more cesspool-y than Facebook or Instagram.
I'm telling you.
I don't know where you're going, David.
It's all about the filters you use, baby, because mine are all pretty.
And on Facebook, I've gotten out of all the controversial stuff. I just I post pictures of my kids and.
The majority of people,
not
all people that I follow on Twitter when it comes to Big Brother stuff, the majority of people that I follow on Big Brother are either live feeders who do this as like it's just what they do for a living, or
how do they make
Big Brother alumni.
I don't know, David. That's what I'm thinking. What happened?
But Big Brother alumni. Those are the majority of the people that I follow, and there's a handful of fans, but the majority of them
Survivor people too.
But I mean, just for like Big Brother stuff,
Big Brother focused stuff.
Yeah. Now, I don't have a single problem with any of the Big Brother alumni calling people out or even saying, hey, you don't know what it's like in there.
Yeah.
So that's usually who I kind of focus on. And you have a variety of personalities.
Rockstar had a
For
great
sure.
post like that. Did you read that this morning?
Who? Which?
Who's-
What?
Rockstar, where she posted like, you don't realize how mentally hard it really is.
Yep.
You know,
And
I
that, you know,
didn't. I didn't at the beginning.
somebody-
You know, this is
Yeah.
season 24, and I remember those for the first at least 10 years. I thought, God, I would love to be on that show. That'd be amazing to be on there.
Same.
Okay, but now I'm like, oof,
Yeah,
no.
and now you
No.
and if you read what so many
Mm-mm.
people have to say. Jessica, she on her Twitter tonight said that she was at a Cubs game and she had somebody come up to her, recognized who she was, and said that they had been thinking about trying out. And then, what do you think? Is it worth it? And she's like, well, we had somebody self-evict today. So like,
It's
maybe
tough.
not. It's not for everybody. It's just not.
Well, and I guess, maybe CBS needs to do a better job at screening for that mental fortitude. Because
100%.
honestly,
Sure.
if you already have a problem going in, and this is
Yeah.
not to say that you can't be medicated and live a normal
Well,
life.
Well,
but
I
the point of the
mean,
matter is, if you already have an issue, it's going to magnify in the house. There's just
Well,
Well,
and
they
we've
got-
had
they
they
replaced
count
the
on it.
one guy before the game even started, so they were checking things out. So you'd think that they had checked her out as well, unless it wasn't something that was pre-existing.
what about?
Well-
I mean, we had the guy on Survivor last year, did we, Jamie?
With
Where
Jackson.
Yes,
Yep.
yes,
he
yes.
was on.
No, he had gone off of them.
Right, but
he
he
had
was
weaned.
on a psychotropic.
Had been, and then he had
went
weaned
off it,
himself
and he was
off.
weaning off of it.
Yeah,
But the point is, you can't put that guy on the show if you're not going to modulate his medicine and
Yeah.
his calorie intake
yeah,
so that he can be level.
yeah.
Yeah,
no.
and it's and you can't let them be on for 1 week or one episode and see how it goes, because
My
it's
point is, and I don't think they would have, but how did he get that far? I guess is my point. He
Well,
never
and
should have
that's-
been on the
and
island.
that's
to
the
begin
thing.
with.
There's a certain amount of things that okay, there's a lot of things. Like, if I were to go and do this show, there's so much that they could find historically with data or talking to people, doctor records. They can find these things out, what they want to, but there's always something I could hold on to
Sure.
that they don't know is a part of who I am unless I'm really in a pressure cooker.
Well, certainly, but there's people have. I mean, only one person is over 37 on this show.
Yeah.
Okay,
And that's another
These
thing. They're
people,
all
their
under
entire life
25 years
is
old.
a social media history.
Right.
They could go read everything they've ever posted,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
everything they've ever
And-
taken,
Yeah.
every nene or
Yep.
whatever they do.
Oh, and that generation has lived their life online.
That's what
online.
I'm saying.
Every single
So-
time they do something, they post about it
I
somewhere.
mean, if you went to me, you would be like, 2008. Before that, it would be a black hole, right? Because there was no social
Right.
media because I was not a MySpace.
Oh,
guy.
there's so many alumni too that we'll talk about. Like, there's no way that, I mean, there's like Evil Dick in this season. Could you imagine? There's no way. He'd never. Nope. Nope. There's no way. It wouldn't
Well, no,
happen.
because he'd be accused of some ism. It'd be
Yeah.
sexism or
Sure.
racism or misogynistic.
I mean, the second that they all started to pray, there's a handful of people that would have like just been like, no, it would have created drama, but not the drama that CBS wants to air. Just like Paloma caused a ton of drama, but clearly they didn't want to air that drama. They want to have their own. They want to have their own storyline, which leads
Mhm.
into another thing where you question, what's the point of the feeds?
Right.
What's the point of the feeds? How long before they cut them? I mean, there's a lot of Big Brothers that are now going like worldwide that they don't have these live feeds,
Really.
and they just
no, they don't do it in
use them.
Australia.
Yeah,
But
they
why
just
not?
don't
They do
use
Is
them.
it-
longer episodes. Each
But-
episode's like
And
an hour
that's
and a half.
that's fine. That's totally fine. But
I
that's
think
part
it's-
of the allure of the Big Brother as a concept is
I
that
think-
they will be they don't have a moment of privacy, that they're always being watched.
Right, but I think that
It can be by
in-
anybody.
when the show first started in the US, I think that was obviously was a huge lure. It's what made
Mhm.
it stand out from so many other reality competitions. But when it started, as we were just talking about, social media was barely in existence. And now entire lives are on social media. The idea of peering into somebody's private life does not have the same lure it used to.
And see, now I disagree, because I think what we see on social media is completely fabricated, and it's what it's not what you would see on the live feeds would be real.
But guess what? CBS is like, that's what we want to do. We want to fabricate the storyline. So
you're seeing a new phenomenon where the people in their orbit who
are turning on
like them or don't like them now see this as a way to attack them.
They shouldn't get a platform. Sorry.
Right.
Now, she could be 100% legit. I have no way of knowing, obviously.
Well, we just take the situation that we had this week and you look at it like this. Here's a girl who stirred up a lot of trouble while she was in the house against one person. As a game move, she didn't necessarily do a bad thing as a game move, but when you do a move like that, I think socially it is expected that you have some obligation to tame that water as to not turn it into a bully fest, right? But then on top of that, she had whatever going on that she had going on. She comes out of there. Not only does she has to leave the house knowing what happened in the house, but now she's going to leave the house and she's going to have a trail of this on Twitter and everything else, because we've all seen the real story.
Yeah.
So
there's definitely going to be a lot of haters out there.
Yeah, and it's going to be incredibly, incredibly difficult, which is why even so many of these alumni that can laugh at the situation and just, they love the dumpster fire too, but they can also all stop and be like, okay, it's a game. She's out of the house now. It's a game, and that you can't anymore with her. Like, it's done. She's not playing anymore. Like, you're not allowed now. So there are definitely those out there that are willing to protect the integrity of just being human and being somewhat kind. But there's always going to be those that are like, just not that way.
I mean, it's almost like they got to give them fake names and let them, let them not go on as their real name.
That's The Masked Singer. That's a different show.
Yes. So I think that whatever she's got to deal with, I mean, and like we were saying last week too, I mean, they wait until like the day before the show airs to put the new cast list out, because they know everyone's going to dig. They're going to dig, and nobody's digging to be nice. No one's digging to be nice.
So of the people that we have there, we don't know who's going to win. HOH means down to a handful of people that are eligible now. But do we see anyone?
I'm predict Ameera.
See, and I think Taylor might really try and take it real hard.
No, I do think she's going to try, but I think Ameera wins.
So who do you think is the person in the house? Who do you think should be super worried?
It depends on
if Taylor doesn't win it. I just.
You think someone puts her up again?
No. You don't think so? I feel like if she does not win it, if she doesn't win it, she gets put out. Because this is why.
Yeah, but Jasmine's going to hop around and milk.
I don't think Michael. I don't know. I don't think that Michael would. I don't necessarily think that Nicole would. I think anybody else would, because the reasoning would be, well, because Paloma left, you didn't have to fight for your life in the house. So it's only fair. Because that's how that's the personality of this cast.
Maybe.
Unless without Paloma there, they're able to now have conversations.
Right.
Different people, well, Paloma told me this. Well, Paloma told me this. Right. And then they start to see, oh, wait a minute. Maybe it was Paloma. If they can do that, maybe.
What do you think of Joseph, though?
Anyway, you could see she was going around and
she was trying to find out. Right. Now, Joseph, I think he's a wild card. If he were to get HOH, I can't for sure see what he would do. No idea.
Any of the guys who have better legs than him, they're gone.
He's just got these little legs, and his upper half is ginormous.
It was the very funniest thing because you don't get those shots like that. So tonight they're doing the challenge, and he's going across, and he's getting a lot of great shots of his shoulders. He's got great shoulders.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean?
For sure. Yep.
And they're getting these great shots of him, whatever, and then they pull back, and you see his legs, and my God, kid, like work on those calves a little bit.
His South Florida guy who works at a gym, right?
Right.
But he's not working the legs. His calves were so little. He had like teenager boy legs.
That's why he looks so great when they do these shower shots, right? Because it's all shoulder and
yeah.
feet.
So anyway, it was very weird. I noticed it right. I was like, unless it was an extremely odd angle, but Jamie saw the same thing I saw.
But he was wearing tight. He was wearing like tight jeggings, right? Like he had some like Cody jeggings, and maybe that didn't help him. Maybe he should have a looser fit, and it would be more convincing.
I don't know. It was kind of weird though. It was like from the hips down. He was like,
like, what? That's a smaller half of a different
yes, like you took two dolls and you like took the top of this one, put Ken on Barbie's legs. There you go. Boom.
Turner's like, it's cool, I'm done. It's not my turn. You can use mine.
He's got a lot of techniques.
Did you all find it out when Paloma was in the shower and the two dudes are like standing there, like right there talking to her?
Yeah, they get real comfortable.
And by the way, she didn't have the water on, so it was all sort of weird.
Well, every shot she's in was a little bit weird. I'm just going to say it.
Maybe she thought, because when you don't have enough sleep, you do start to hallucinate.
You do. And they're
auditory. Yep.
I've had babies. I know what it's like to not sleep to that point.
Oh no, I was I was in an airport one time flying back from Canada to South Florida, and I was full on hallucinating. I kept thinking everybody around me was talking about Harry Potter.
That's amazing. At least it's a fun.
No, it was not amazing because I started talking to those people, and I even said to them, "Are you talking about Harry Potter?" And they looked.
That was the acid. That wasn't the.
No, it was a 3-day girls' weekend where we hardly slept.
But Paloma started bringing up Harry Potter too. It's a thing.
It was literally
She just wanted an invisibility cloak.
On the plane, I was trying to talk to people. It was real bad. It was real bad.
So I had a lot of auditory on my 4 days with no sleep.
Yeah.
And I swear, it was like a band was playing in the living room. It was so loud. It was so loud.
So she probably thought she had the water running. I'm just saying.
I absolutely believe she thought the water was running, and there's just no way. You don't sleep. You cannot operate.
The connections are not there. Anyway, all right. Well, what a heck of a first week, guys.
Yeah, I wish I had something more constructive and game-wise to go forward, but it was a dumpster fire that was horribly wonderful to watch.
I predict though, when we get down to the final 6 or 8, we'll all be into it.
Oh sure. Yeah. Hopefully they will be too.
And they know it.
It just seems like there's too many people, and
I don't like when we have this big crowd. But next week,
too many unknowns.
We learned very, very quickly. You have to have fast ears to
Julie,
that they're going to turn the game on its head. They're going to totally flip the game. They're going to flip it.
First week,
we're done twisting. No more twists.
Well, if you have a new game, that's a twist. If you turn it on its head, that's literally a twist.
Yeah, but we're not doing this.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe this time it'll work for them.
Before we wrap up, can we talk a little, just 2 minutes on AU?
Yeah, go ahead.
Go for it.
Yeah. Neither of us ladies have watched, but David has watched Big Brother Australia.
Some of it, right?
I dropped in on a few. I dropped in on a few episodes, but I never got one congruent storyline except for Candygate.
Right. So I made it through the entire season.
Somebody ate somebody's candy.
Australia. And the reason I want to talk about it is it ended this week, and Reggie, who won 19 years ago, won again, first two-time winner.
Mm-hmm.
And what was interesting is she is losing her eyesight. So she's legally blind. She can see.
But it's,
up close shapes, but she can't. So she was in the competition. She was ineffective at best, generally. But she played an incredible social game, and their voting system is different. So at the end, instead of the other contestants voting for you, like on Survivor and Our Big Brother, it's the country voted for her. So she ended up winning the game, and it was interesting to see somebody come in with an obvious hindrance to her game,
Sure.
and yet work through it. And
well, it's a real life disability that then becomes a big time disability for the game. Yeah.
Right. Yep. And this year, not to get too deep into it, but they brought in a bunch of previous players, and they got the name OGs. They were all the OGs.
Sure.
And against the newbies, right? And the newbies outnumbered them by like 4 going into it. And
so like it was like a classic all-star where you've got the new ones, and okay.
It was super fun. And Big Brother Australia is just blatantly like, we're going to make this dramatic, and we are going to stir crap up, and we don't even care that you're going to criticize us for it, because we're going to do more of it. So there was that. But what was interesting is I was reading that Julie is talking about the next season of Big Brother being an all winners season. And wouldn't it be interesting if she cherry picked a couple winners from around the world? And there was this guy named Tim, who, he happens to be gay, and he has frizzy hair like Dee Schneider is who he looks like, right?
Wow,
and
that's a look.
The best character on reality TV in 5 seasons I've seen on any show.
Wait, okay, was he the one that was involved in Candy 8?
Yeah,
she's all about the candy.
Okay, see, I know who you're talking about by who you were describing.
Right,
okay.
but so I wonder if a couple of the key characters, if they brought them in from around the country, even though we wouldn't know who they were, they're iconic for a reason, right?
Well, and truth be told, if they were to it's the only way that Big Brother could have an all-stars game and keep the CBS initiative.
Okay, wait a minute. So this season, when Indy first was being spoken to, she said in her main thing that she was a huge fan of Big Brother Brazil. Okay.
Yep.
Have we ever had a player who's played before who was a fan of a different, they even brought up a different season like that, or a different countries?
Canada. Yeah, Canada maybe, but not off of the continent.
So I wonder if that's almost like them testing the waters to see like what people will.
Right.
But
so if we had, but I've never heard anyone talk about Australia.
I haven't either.
Africa, they speak English, so it would.
Right. Yeah.
Sure, but I mean, but they don't. You've never seen someone like, oh yeah, I watch, the American one. I watch this one. I watch that one.
Sure.
I've never heard anybody say that they watch other countries.
I would be thrilled.
I don't know. I just thought maybe it's a clue.
We could have like a multi-country all-star game, but it won't happen because we don't get nice things.
And they'd have to come here and be here and stay here for 3 months. They might not want to. They might go, nah.
Yeah, they're like, yeah, we caught the American version.
Yeah. There was this other guy on Australia, and his name was Drew. Good-looking guy. And he was famous for, in his season, he had a showmance with a gal named Tully. Okay. So he comes on this show, and instantly he starts a showmance with this girl named Sam. You get to the 4th episode, and they go, and we have a new person coming in the house.
Oh my gosh.
And they just put her in.
Now, and it's like, that is awesome.
That's a dirty trick.
But that's exactly how.
But he walked right into it. If he hadn't had that,
they were adding people to like week 6.
If he hadn't had that showmance with the other girl, they probably wouldn't even have thought it.
Maybe not.
But they were sitting there in the control, and they're like, I wonder if he gets Billy in here.
That's when you go back to when CBS would play Big Brother with a little bit more oomph, because we had Danielle and Dick. I mean, they were kind of estranged. And
so who neutered American Big Brother? Was it Julie? Is it Julie's fault?
I think it's a combination between the casting manager, who lots is said about on Twitter, but I won't mention names here, and also when Moonves left. that changed a lot of the game stuff too. So when he left CBS,
I mean,
why did he own all the games?
I think he made a lot of calls on it.
The diversity
I think he made a lot of calls
initiative's been
on
great
it.
for the game. I think.
What was?
The diversity initiative. I really think it's really showing a whole, breadth of people, and
well, and if you're going to represent, if you're going to be taking swatches from real like American reality, like you need to have more diversity. Period.
But I think somewhere in that initiative, they watered down the gameplay to try to make it nice too.
It's tough. It's tough. Well, I think that we are in a precarious place in the country, and feelings are still at a very heightened thing. You add that to the nauseum of social media attacks. You add that to the social dynamic of what is happening in the country. Everything from economics to, and disparity to just political separations, and you throw it all in a house, and it could easily be chaos. And yes, it could absolutely be so entertaining to just let it reign free. But I think this is what it's like, the pendulum. I think this is just trying to have some sort of responsibility for what's going out there. But I think it's swung a little high, and they haven't found that like good
yes, it hasn't pivoted back. Yeah, they're still on that swing of we can use our platform to highlight issues we want to.
Right,
we
but
want the country to
kind of like on. It needs to settle back in a little bit so that is a natural part of it, rather than
with some of the resistors. Some of the resistors got to come with us and swing a little bit this way, and then we can equalize.
Yeah, with Survivor, it feels like it's just Jeff being an egomaniac, destroying the show, right? But I don't see that with Julie.
What would it be like? What would it be like if CBS said, "Hey, Jeff, Julie, come on in. We're gonna have a lunch," and you just put them in there, and you say, "We have a new show. We need a host. Figure it out. Who's gonna do it?"
You know what? If you brought Jonathan over from Australia, it'd be a whole different game.
They start like dueling each other. Who's gonna be the new host?
I keep saying all the time that we need to get rid of Julie. We need to bring in someone like Kat Deely, as the new host, like somebody who's pretty cool, but
somebody hip, somebody
has a sense of humor.
Yeah, exactly. Somebody who can.
In Australia, you never see the host, Sonia.
That's just it. Because it's like
whenever they communicate, they're talking to the disembodied computer that is Big Brother.
Yes.
Oh yeah, Julie didn't get as much airtime season 1 as she does now.
Right, and so when they only see Sonia like at the eviction.
Right.
And do they kiss her butt and tell her how beautiful she looks? You look stunning, devastatingly gorgeous, ravishing.
And what happens is they'll all be sitting around, and the guy will go, "Josh," and Josh will go, "Yes, Big Brother," and he'll ask a question, and they have to answer the question that Big Brother's asking. So he'll stir shit up.
Yeah.
So the disembodied voice will be like, "Do you feel like Kate is disrespecting you?"
So what the voice is essentially doing is it's doing the same thing that the producers are doing in US Big Brother in the diary room. But they're doing it in front of everybody. So it's not like.
But they do the diary room too, and the diary room is even worse. Because they get in and Big Brother gets even worse, and they ask, like, they go right to the heart of it and just.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, I'm bummed out that Taylor was the first one to really break down and cry. It sucked. I didn't like it.
But you know what?
I hope she has like new energy going forward.
Let's hope that toughened her up, and she's gonna.
She's cried before. It'll all.
And I hope that going forward she doesn't have to
give us the amazing "I won the pageant" cry, like when she realized she wasn't gonna have to get voted out. She did and I was all like, yes.
I thought she was gonna be
professional.
Yes. She's been in a couple parades, I bet.
She has.
All right.
But it's tough. It's tough for an introvert out there. And if the only way you learn to not be introverted is through pageantry, it's going to come across as a setup. She's going to have to get in there and talk to more people and just let her barriers down.
And some of it is her language is different. Like when she offered everybody to wear her clothes, that was a big deal for a pageant person.
Yes.
But if you don't know pageant people, you don't know that they wouldn't share their clothes generally.
Right. And
You know, so for her to say to
yeah, I
the
wouldn't
girl
get
who
that
can
because
wear
I'd be
my
like,
outfit,
right.
I'd be
Yeah.
super weirded out. You can wear my clothes. No, thanks.
no,
I know.
I think for her, she felt like
I get what
doing a
you're
big
saying. No, I get what
thing.
you're saying, but I wouldn't have taken it that way. I would have been like, that's okay. That's weird. What are you trying to say about my
Well,
clothes?
and they were like,
People, let's
they were
be
like,
honest.
oh my God, like, I love this. Like, I wish I had something like this, or I wish I could pull something like this off, or I wish I could wear something like this.
Why?
All of those, yeah, all of those
Where?
little like
Somebody-
things.
When you
And
wear
she's
when
like-
you wear something like
Oz's
that?
clothes
and
last
then
year,
she's
weren't
like, oh, well, if you guys can totally wear any of this if you want, as long as I get a chance to wear it.
I mean, they're
like,
beautiful
one
to look
time,
at,
and you can
but it's
wear it.
like, whenever
So-
would anybody ever wear something like that?
Yeah,
Well,
I-
in
the whole
fairness,
thing
she
was-
was saying that to Jasmine, and Jasmine wasn't going to fit in any of her outfits.
No, and Jasmine is hair alone. Her hair alone takes her like all of her time in her day. That girl touches her hair and pulls her hair back so much.
Well, and I didn't even hardly. Okay, so because for the opening show, she had her hair all straightened.
I know. She didn't
Like
even
that-
realize it. I didn't
didn't-
like her hair up when she had her hair. I mean, I didn't like her attitude that she was throwing.
So when they were showing her, I'm like, who is that? I didn't even.
Yeah, I liked her hair
even
up like that in the ponytail though. That was cute. But for seriousness, these girls are gonna have to like break down some of that mean girl exterior and just start being like real people because they're not.
I think
looking
that's
great.
who she is.
They're just not being
that's-
nice.
I hate to say that, but I think that's who she is.
Jasmine. I think Jasmine's got a fair bit of attitude behind her, but I know a lot of people that have a lot of attitude in the front, but once
Matter
they
of fact, if you pushed
become
her and Brittany
comfortable-
together, you'd have a pretty middle of the road person.
yeah, but she might bring
Together?
herself-
Wonder
might
Twin
bring
Powers.
herself down a little. Brittany has just got to never ever compete in something with balance.
What is with that
And
name
not trust
on the
Pooch.
show? If your name is Brittany, you're just odd.
If your name is Brittany, you're just a
Maybe
little
it's
bit
not the
quirky.
show. Maybe
Come
that's.
on, am I the only one who's waiting for her to start rapping? Is it just me?
Yeah. No, it's
No,
not.
she's gonna hypnotize people, David.
Can somebody
What?
do the
Hey!
beatbox for me? Because I
been a whole week and we haven't-
She's a hypnotist, remember?
That's right. It's been a whole week though, and we haven't heard a poem from Melissa yet. What's up with that?
Alyssa.
She writes poetry.
CBS, get on it.
Come on.
I bet
And
you
who
she
liked
writes some
mayonnaise?
angry poetry. I got to see if I can find some of that.
Was it Paloma that liked mayonnaise? Was that her like thing? And I like mayonnaise. Was it Paloma that said that?
Really?
Yeah, like at their little when
Okay, as a
when
guy,
Pooch
the
had
jokes
to-
write themselves. I will be silent now.
when Pooch said that it had to watch the little videos to make the choice of who he was
Yes.
going to pull backstage.
Yes, they had like little mini
Was
weird.
it her or was it Alyssa that
I don't
like,
remember.
was
It went
like,
so
"I like
fast, and you were
mayonnaise"?
trying to like figure out what that person had just said, and they were already showing somebody else like in their weird thing. It was just a bunch of
Alyssa
weirdness.
was lost in Newark, and she'll come back. She'll come back from Newark.
Newark, it's like the happiest place on earth. She kept saying
To go to
it's the
Newark.
happiest place on earth, and not a single person went. Disneyland.
Newark.
Denmark.
Newark, the
Denmark.
happiest place on earth.
She meant Denmark. She
JP.
meant
I
Denmark.
understand what she meant, but she kept saying Newark.
Newark.
And how did she think Newark was the
and
same
I'm
as
like-
Norway?
That's going to be some news to the people in Newark.
Well,
That's
I'm
weird.
going to say this about Alyssa. I my fingers are crossed that she might be a little bit better off without Paloma next to her, and I mean, she did manage to make fun of herself for claiming that she wanted to go to Newark. So she has the capability of humanizing up, and I we'll see. We'll see. I don't know. My jury's still Cat Dad. Go Cat Dad.
Yes, that's my pick.
Nicole and Cat Dad.
Nicole, Cat Dad,
Maybe
And-
Brittany.
Amara. Amara? Is that her name?
I like Amara. I'm
Amira,
liking
yeah.
her more. and
Amira.
more. Amira.
Yeah, I like her too.
Yeah.
All right,
see how
well,
she goes.
I do want to thank everyone who came to visit with us tonight. That was fun. Thanks, Ro. Thanks, Chrissy. Come back next week. And that's what we'll be doing next week, right? Same bat time, same bat channel. here talking about.
If somebody else doesn't self-evict or lose their mind or get kicked out, or
I mean, if we actually know what time the show is on in advance,
this is true.
If Jasmine didn't break her, no, they let Christmas keep playing. Jasmine's gonna.
That's true. That's true. There's the Christmas clause.
Yeah.
You can break your ankle and still be in the game. Yeah. So if this was week 1, I hope week 2 can live up to it. And then
I hope that next week when we get to come back here, we could focus a little bit more on game. I hope there's more gameplay to focus on and a little bit less people be losing their mind.
Yeah.
I want to see them. I love a dumpster fire like everybody else. I mean, I'm not too big to say I don't.
We just had a big one. This was a doozy.
Pretty dumpster.
But in the tradition of New Big Brother, a la Frenchie, we had chaos reign the first week, and hopefully now the game will pursue.
We're gonna have chaos. We need Cass with it.
And the Joker.
Oh, gotta have the Joker. Okay, that was a Survivor Australia joke for those of you who don't know.
All right, guys. I think that's it. We'll wrap it up. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you here next week. And we'll see what's going on in Big Brother.
We'll see when this year.
All right, guys. Stay cool. Oh, a big heat waves out there for everybody, so stay cool. See you next week. Bye.
Bye.